Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whoever you are, wherever you're from, welcome and thank you for choosing to watch an electrician instead of watching the junk that's on TV. Today it is a bit of a mixed bag, to be honest. I'm doing a quote first thing. I'm just heading over there now for an EV charging point. Then I got another quote to do somewhere else. Then I got some fault finding to do. Then I've got another fault finding job to do. And I've got another quote to do. Yeah, there's a lot going on today, so I'm going to be all over the place, and I thought I'd just film what I'm up to, show you what it's like to be an electrician rushing around like a headless chicken trying to do everything he needs to do. So if you enjoy my videos, smash the thumbs up button. If you haven't subscribed already, please do. It's free and you'll get regular videos from me, and let's get into it. So I'm using this new camera today, and yeah, I picked it up because it's kind of an action camera style thing. Usually I use my phone to film everything, but it's a bit annoying because what happens is every time my phone goes off it stops filming, and I don't like putting my phone on airplane mode because then people can't get in touch with me. So I decided to just get a separate cam for my day-to-day sort of filming. So hopefully the footage is okay. I'm trying to do 4K videos now rather than the old 1080. Ouch. Okay, that was a little bit worrying. So this is not the kind of camera to put on your dashboard, let's put it that way. See you in a minute. Right, well that was an interesting one because the customer has put in, he's been doing a bit of work at the house, so he's put in a bit of 6mm twin and earth basically already for the charger, which you know, he's just kind of slung it in from the consumer unit to where he wants the charger, which is kind of good in a way because it saves us some work. But if it was me, I would have done it in SWA, because if it's in twin and earth now and it's going under the floorboards and it's going to be, you know, concealed in a wall, so obviously it needs to be RCD protected. But the Zappi has its own type A RCD built in with 6 milliamp DC protection. So what that means is that we're going to have to put another RCD upstream of that, but we're going to have to allow for selectivity, which means that we're going to have to put a time delayed RCD or something for the cable. So rather than doing what we usually do, which is run it in SWA and then have just an MCB for the circuit, now we're going to have to put an RCBO or double pole. It'll have to be probably double pole, so an RCD, little extra consumer unit RCD, which will be time delayed, so that we don't have issues with, if the Zappi trips, the main RCD trips as well. So, you know, from a design point of view, it would have just been better if he'd have consulted an electrician first and we could have guided him on what cable to use, but it is what it is, it's done now, and we can get around it, so it's no problem. But it's interesting because a lot of people recommend, they really want the Tesla charger, right? So they're like, oh, I want the Tesla charger because I'm getting a Tesla, and they kind of seem to feel like it's, you know, only a Tesla charger will work for a Tesla. And the problem is with that, they don't realise all the complications involved with installing a Tesla. So I had to basically persuade him to get a Zappi instead of a Tesla charger, because if we wanted to put the Tesla charger in, we would have needed to install a earth electrode or a pen fault detection device. We would have needed to install a type B RCD at the consumer unit, well, in a new consumer unit, which is very expensive. There's no dynamic load management on the Tesla charger at all, so we would definitely need the main cutout fuse to be upgraded to 100 amps because it's only 60 amps at the moment. And the list goes on, really. He's got solar, and of course the Tesla charger has no solar integration either, so we would have, you know, it would have been such a shame to not have any kind of solar integration for his Tesla charger. So in the end, a Zappi is a no-brainer because it's got the solar integration for him, it's got the pen fault detection device, so we don't need to fit an earth rod, It's got dynamic load management, so that we can, if we want to, I will recommend him to get the fuse upgraded to 100 amps anyway, but if we wanted to, we could fit the Zappi on the 60 amp main fuse already and just do load limiting on it so that it won't blow the main cutout fuse. So once I explained all these things to him, he was happy to get a quote for a Zappi rather than a Tesla charger. But it took a little bit of explaining, and it's kind of complicated trying to explain to a customer about 10 fault detection and earth electrodes and dynamic load management and all that kind of stuff, you know. Putting it into layman's terms can be quite tricky sometimes. So anyway, I did it, I explained everything to him. He's happy to go with the Zappi now. Happy Zappi, but yeah, it just needs a bit of education on our part, really, to educate the customers on what is the best solution for them. And to do that, you've got to kind of know your stuff, really, and be able to talk to them about it in a clear way that they can understand and not overcomplicate things. So now I'm heading over to another quote, just driving over there now. I can't remember what this one's for off the top of my head, but I'll let you know when I get there. Okay, so this one is quote to install sockets in 2 sheds and sockets and lighting in a summer house or something. So a lot of kind of power, outside power to various outbuildings basically. So should be an interesting little quote. I'll let you know how it goes. Alright, so another quote done. That was an interesting one because they had power to the shed already, but it was fed from the back of the cooker switch. They basically gone out the back of the cooker switch, put a conduit stop box on the other side of the wall, and then run an armour down from there across to the shed to a double socket. So, I mean, technically it's okay, it's just a bit of a weird way of doing it, I guess. So they had a double socket in the shed, and we need to add another double socket and a spur for a light, and then across to another shed from there and another double socket and a light. I mean, they're not going to be using much power out there, it's just to kind of give them what they need. And then they need a new circuit installing to a new garden office that they've built. So that's going to have to come from the consumer unit and run all the way down the garden to the garden office, and then we've got like a consumer unit to put in there, 3 double sockets, 8 down lights and 2 outside lights with a kinetic switch. So should be a nice little job. The consumer unit was a little bit old, it was an old MK one, so I've recommended for them to get an EICR done as well, as there was no sign that an EICR has ever been done on there. So that'll be part of the quote too. But now I'm going over to a lady who we've worked for in the past, and she's saying to us that the lights are flickering and she's really worried about it. And apparently somebody else in the street has been having the same problem, so I'm wondering if there's some kind of DNO issue going on here. But we're going to go out there and have a look. We changed the consumer unit there about a year ago to a brand new Hager RCBO consumer unit. So from that point of view, everything should be fine. So I'm wondering if there's something dodgy going on. But I'll see if we can get in there and film and see what's going on with that. So now I'm off to a quote, another quote, then another fault finding job, and then I've got some more quotes to do. Let's go. Right, so that quote is done. Interesting little one really. It's a new house, well, for newish, 5 years old. The original install's been done terribly, of course. We see this over and over again, just like rubbish new build quality. I would never buy a new house because the new build quality of 90% of new builds is just rubbish. So they now want us to basically partially rewire the house because they've got an annex above the garage for their elderly father, which it's ridiculous how they've done it. They've got a big sort of Hager consumer unit in there with 6 circuits, right? And it's got a full kitchen in there, it's got loads of stuff. The builders or installers have put it in on a 10mm SWA, 10mm 3/4 SWA on a 32 amp supply. It's quite a long run, so you're not going to get more than 40 amps out of that 10mm anyway. So the whole thing is not future proofed, and what we're going to need to do now is run a brand new supply in, an 80 amp supply from the meter box all the way around the house, underground into the garage to upgrade their supply, because every time he uses the toaster and the kettle at the same time, it's tripping the main RCBO for the whole of that annex, basically, which is just a disaster. So they've got loads of work for us to do in this house. It's like insane. I mean, they're working from home, and they've got so much IT equipment. So we're going to rip out the Hager dual RCD board that's been put in by the builders, and we're going to put in a brand new Hager RCBO board with an SPD. We're going to put a new supply to the garage. We're going to put loads of new sockets in the garage. We're going to put outside security lighting in. We're going to put downlights in various rooms. A patch rack in the home office so that they've got a proper patch panel and everything sorted out with all the network cabling, because there's 22 network cables going around the house. So yeah, interesting little quote. It's going to be a big job really for a brand new, fairly small house. So all good fun. So now I'm going to shovel a bit of food down, and then I've got another fault finding job to do around the corner. See you there. Right, so end of the day, it's dark, I'm home, and yeah, it's been a manic day, but got a lot done, so I'm happy with that. And in terms of, let me get a light on here, yeah, in terms of all the things that we've done, I've just been to this quote. That's what I was doing last thing of the day, and it was a bit of a annoying quote, to be honest. It's one of those people they're shopping around, basically. They've had an EICR done by somebody who they didn't really trust, because the person who did the original EICR priced them for a certain amount for the EICR, and then they sent in a bill that was double what they'd originally priced just for an EICR. I don't know what people think, but you know, how can you end up charging double for an EICR? I don't get it. Anyway, they want us to do the remedial work because they like our reviews, but they've been getting prices from other people, and I think price is going to outweigh reputation on this one. So I'm just going to put in my normal expensive price, and if they go for it, I'll be very surprised, but we'll give them a chance anyway. So that is a day in my life, hectic nonetheless, but we get a lot done, and it is always fun. The life of an electrician is fun, interesting. There's always new challenges. So I hope you've enjoyed being on fly on the wall with my day today. And if you did, then don't forget to hit that thumbs up. And if you haven't done so, subscribe. It's free, and you get more videos coming up from me very, very soon. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.